Welcome to Toronto. Welcome back
Thank
to
you.
North America. I just wanted to get some insight into your experience at the Olympics and what the whole, week and a half was like for you.
Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, obviously an amazing experience. Getting to stay in the village as well for the first time. Uh, Getting to travel with a really cool, fun group of Americans as well, and meet a lot of other American athletes and athletes from other countries. It was really fun. Super long week though. Like it was jam packed for us, especially with Coco being the flag bearer. So it seemed like there was just a lot going on. So it was a long week, but it was super fun and an amazing experience, and exciting to see the men also at least take home some hardware and doubles. So that was really cool.
It's a little bit more than a 1 week event. How different does the Olympic tennis experience feel from like a regular 1,000 or a Grand Slam event
Yeah,
for you?
I mean, it feels a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, but like a little more of a grind, I think. Even though we're at Roland Garros site, which was really nice, obviously it's not quite as nice as far as like the experience of a Grand Slam level of having, good food and lots of trainers and lots of extracurricular kind of like things for the players. It's definitely like not the greatest. I don't know what the word is. Like I'm looking for. I don't know. Logistically, with the food and the travel and the transportation, like that stuff definitely isn't as high of a level. And then you're going out there and the crowds are really crazy. So it was fun in that way where it did feel much different. It felt I felt like everyone was more in a battle, like when they were playing. Like I don't know, it wasn't as fancy. It was it was a little bit more blue collar or something. So it was really fun though. I mean, the crowds were incredible. I got to play on a really full Langland. I've a packed Chatrier with Svitolina, which I've never got to experience before, where they're chanting your name, they're chanting her name, and getting super into it. So that's always going to be stuck in my mind as one of the coolest matches I've got to play.
Hey, Jesse, welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you.
You've gotten to know Coco pretty well, playing doubles with her, and obviously both from the United States. What kind of growth have you kind of noticed from her during your time working together, or even like after the U.S. Open, for instance, after winning a major?
Yeah, I think she's definitely grown up a lot and matured over the last few years. I think now she's much more sure of herself and kind of knows what she wants. And then, also she's hitting that age where you're learning all that stuff. You're trying to figure out what you want, how you want it, making more of your own decisions. And I think we've kind of seen that over the past year now, especially around this time of year is when she's really started doing well. And got hot last summer. But I think I've definitely noticed that a lot more she's not afraid to, I think, speak her mind, and being very open and direct with what she feels like she needs and stuff like that. So I think that's something that I've noticed over the last year and a half for sure.
Just now that we kind of round into the back half of the season, I'm kind of curious if you could give kind of a progress report of kind of the first 8 months or so. And then as the back half, which you are defending a lot of points, a lot going on for you, kind of how are you seeing the final, stretch of the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as everyone kind of knows, it hasn't been the smoothest year for me. Had a couple of injuries, a coaching change, not great results, to be honest, and not the consistency that I've been able to put on for the last 2-3 years. It was funny. I saw a stat like that I've made the semis of either Toronto or Montreal since 2021, and I was like, shit. God, I was like, damn, like like sometimes you don't realize it, but you're like, God, I was playing really well. And like in the moment, you're not really thinking about that. But now that I've had a tougher year and I look back, I'm like, wow, I was good. Like I won a lot of matches. Not that I still don't think I'm good, but I just mean the consistency week in and week out was pretty crazy. I can't believe I did any of that looking back. But it's been a different year. It's been full of a lot of different challenges. But honestly, I kind of knew like every year is not going to be perfect. I've had a lot of tough years before. Early on in my career that weren't very good, and I was able to turn that around. So I think I'm just taking it as this is a year that's presenting different challenges, and it hasn't been the smoothest first 8 months or whatever, but I'm still hopeful coming into the hard courts for the rest of the year, really, that I can kind of turn that around, because I know that's where most of my results tend to lie, and I like playing on the hard courts. So hopefully I can just keep competing every single match and, pick up some momentum and hopefully use some of that going into the end of the year and kind of hopefully end it a little bit better than it started.
I'm just wondering if you can go back to earlier in your career, if you can remember the first time you ever played a match in Canada, whether that was at the junior level or the professional level, and sort of what your first perception of your first time in Canada was.
Well, I always really liked Canada. I always liked playing in the Northeast. Obviously grew up in Buffalo and Pittsburgh area, and I feel like it's always feels very similar and comfortable to me. I don't know what my first match, it was probably the Junior Canadian Open, I think, in, where was that? Does anyone remember? And then I played a couple challengers as well. And I played the challenger here several years. And I always did well. Like, I always had good results here. So I feel like that's something that I use that when I come back, and why I've always had good results in Canada is I've always felt very comfortable. And I think, again, growing up in the Northeast a little bit, it feels a little bit like home to me. And I like that feeling, and I think that can really help, that comfort and confidence when you're coming into weeks here and trying to do well at tournaments. So I've always really loved Canada. I always think it's fun. And like I said, always had pretty decent results.
Just in terms of getting ready to tackle the rest of the hard courts, like Naomi was saying yesterday that she stepped on a hard court and she just like we're back, after 4 months of grinding away on the natural surfaces and stuff. Is there any sense of that for you at all in terms of the excitement of getting back onto a surface that you know so well and you play so well on?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I know what she means. It's nice to just feel that the hard court, the ground, knowing, that's why I think hard is still my favorite surface, because I just love that it's a true bounce. There's no unlucky bounces, weird shots, unlucky stuff. I feel like it's very true to how someone's playing, and that's what I always enjoyed about the hard court. So I definitely got that feeling hitting for the first time. Obviously, it was a quick turnaround for me coming from clay. I've only had 2 days on hard, so I don't know if my comfort is feeling that great yet. Maybe 1 or 2 more days, we'll see. I didn't have an actual training block on the hard courts for good reason, though, going to the Olympics. So yeah, I do, though. I know what she means. It does feel very nice to kind of feel that footing beneath your feet and knowing you're not going to slip or fall.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.